All right, guys. Apologies for the last minute video here, scrapped together. It's my birthday. I just went to lunch with my mom and Crystal and the family and stuff. So just wanted to squeeze this in because I didn't want to let this sit for a few more days. So some interesting updates. Oh, and by the way, shout out to all of you who wish me a happy birthday. I appreciate it very much. 37 years old now, feeling like I'm 100. Hair's going white quick, even though I dye it blonde, but you get the point. Thank you so much for everybody who sent kind words. It absolutely means the world. And extra love to my beautiful wife, who I do not deserve, and my best friend, Corin. You guys are awesome, and yeah, don't know where I'd be without you. So anyway, couple things wanted to talk about. And forgive me, I'm currently petting Stinky, who's refusing to let me not pet her at the moment. So yesterday, we had the continuation of the committee hearing. Of course, RFK is trying to be head of Health and Human Services. And we also had some other hearings as well. Kash Patel, he wants to be head of the FBI. Tulsi Gabbard, who wants to be head of DNI, which is Director of National Intelligence. So we had all these hearings going on. It was the second day of the RFK hearings. And there's one moment that went particularly viral for all the wrong reasons. Because basically, RFK decided, I'm going to viciously smear Bernie Sanders directly to his face and accuse him of being corrupt. Now, as you all know, that's beyond laughable because Bernie Sanders is like probably the single least corrupt politician in all of Washington, D.C. I mean, that's sort of his brand. There's a famous story from back in the day where lobbyists said that there were two offices they would always skip over because they knew certain people weren't going to play ball. The two that they skipped over were Ron Paul, the Libertarian, and Bernie Sanders, the Democratic Socialist. They knew, hey, these guys don't play the corrupt game. They don't take the legal bribes. They are not interested in what we're selling, so we're just going to skip over their offices. So what RFK says is that Bernie Sanders took $1.5 million from the pharmaceutical industry. Now, here's why that's a lie. Bernie Sanders only took small dollar donations. So what that means is like Bob, who works in accounting at a pharmaceutical company, decided, I'm going to send Bernie Sanders $20. You all know his favorite, like, $27 is the average contribution that I get. So he took $1.5 million from workers, from individuals. This is not the same thing. It's not remotely even close to the same thing as taking money from lobbyists or taking money from executives or taking money from corporate PACs. And here's the thing. RFK knows that. RFK knows that. The reason he decided to bust out this smear against Bernie Sanders is because Bernie was hammering him into the ground. The day before, he asked him, is healthcare a human right, yes or no? And RFK said, I can't answer that in a yes or no way. Okay, so he looked ridiculous on that. He looked ridiculous when Bernie Sanders called out that his organization was selling onesies for babies that said things like, you know, unvaxxed and unafraid or something like that. It was like anti-vaccine language on a onesie for a baby, which is incredibly dark. He got called out on that. He got called out on a number of other things. Yesterday, Bernie hit him over the bogus notion that he seems to think vaccines cause autism. That's been debunked 57 ways to Sunday. In fact, the guy who originally came up with that claim in the 1990s, Andrew Wakefield, he literally lost his medical license for making that bogus claim. The study was retracted. Right? So, and again, this has been studied 1,000 ways. In fact, it was even the case that the conspiracy theorists said a particular ingredient in the vaccine was causing the autism, and that was like a preservative that was used for the vaccines. So in order to basically throw a bone to these anti-vaccine conspiracy theorists and be like, okay, if you say this is the problem, we will take out that ingredient, they did that, and then the conspiracy theorist said, oh no, it still causes autism. It's like some other ingredient now. Well, what the fuck? I mean, look, the guy just believes in junk science. The guy does not know what the hell he's talking about. He's a prolific liar. And of course, as you all know, the day before, he backed off of the fact that he's anti-vaccine, which is the biggest snake shit I've ever heard in my life. His entire career was about being anti-vaccine. And then now that he can sniff the power of being head of Health and Human Services, he says, who, me, bro? I'm like totally pro-vaccine, bro. I don't even know what you're talking about. So the guy's just a little weasel. And it really is a new low to say the least corrupt senator in Washington, D.C., who takes small dollar donations and has not sold out, to try to spin it like he's the top recipient of money from the pharmaceutical industry, pretending that Bernie's taking money from a corporate PAC or from lobbyists or executives or oligarch billionaires. He's not. As I said, he takes small dollar donations, and those donations that they're talking about are from workers. It's literally not remotely close to the same thing as being corrupt, because as we always say, what should Democrats do? They should all go out there and say, we're taking a pledge to take no billionaire oligarch money, no CEO money, no corporate PAC money, no super PAC money, and we're only going to raise through small dollar donations. That's what Bernie basically does. And he was smeared as being corrupt, which is absolutely disgusting. The saddest thing is you have like these low IQ right-wingers who are like believing the claim and spreading it, looking ridiculous, and everybody else is like mocking them and laughing at them and saying, really? Bernie Sanders is the one that you're claiming is corrupt? That's beyond preposterous. So we had that. One of the other things I wanted to mention was Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard, in a similar way to RFK, she can smell the power. She's very close to being head of DNI. And so she is backing off of things that she claimed to believe, claimed she was principled on. So one of those things is Edward Snowden. In the past, she had called Edward Snowden brave and courageous and called him a hero. Now that she needs to sort of appease these neocon warmongers like Tom Cotton, now she's changed her tune. Now she says, yeah, he exposed illegal wrongdoing, but he also broke the law. And also, I would not recommend giving him a pardon, right? And so she softened her position on that because, again, she's trying to say whatever the hell she can say to get in power. All of the principles are out the window. Another thing she flip-flopped on, she had previously called Trump killing General Soleimani, the Iranian commander, in an illegal drone strike. She had called that unconstitutional and illegal. Now, she totally backed off of that as well. So, I mean, look, it's just complete and utter selling out. She made her career pretending that she was against the warmongers. Now she's in league with the warmongers, supporting illegal drone strikes, saying she wouldn't recommend a pardon for Edward Snowden. Just absolutely disgusting, completely and utterly pathetic. And then the other thing that I wanted to bring up, and this one is super important and super scary, y'all. So here, let me grab it. It's from Jeff Stein of the Washington Post. So he says, if I can find it, where are we at? Where are you, buddy? Where the fuck are you? Here it is. Okay. So he says, listen to this. The highest ranking Treasury official is expected to depart soon after a clash with Elon Musk allies over their demands for access to a sensitive internal government payment system. Musk allies wanted access to the system responsible for disbursing trillions in Fed payments annually as part of Doge. Treasury career staff saw the request as highly unusual. David A. LeBrick, viewed internally as consummate non-political civil servant, expected to exit after joining Treasury in 1989. Last week, he was acting Treasury Secretary. So in other words, to put this in layman's terms here, this is Elon Musk and all of his allies demanding from the Treasury, you guys need to give us access to the internal government payment system. And of course, what they're going to do with that is make cuts wherever they want to make cuts. Cut off the money however and wherever they want to cut it off. Does this sound familiar? Doesn't this sound like the other day when they did the federal freeze and you had absolute chaos and Medicaid was frozen, so 72 million Americans lost their health care, low-income people, people with disabilities, Meals on Wheels got cut, WIC, which is nutrition formula for babies, that got cut. You had school breakfast and lunch money got cut. You had domestic violence shelters got cut. And so all that money was frozen. It led to absolute chaos. It led to a colossal backlash. They had to reverse on some of it because, I mean, it was completely and utterly untenable what they were doing. Even Republican politicians were getting calls from, furious constituents like, what the fuck is going on here? This is crazy. And now, remember how I tell you guys all the time that the robber baron oligarchs, their goal is to cut the money off for all the regular people. So get rid of the social safety net for regular Americans. And then what do I say? They want to loot the Treasury. I didn't know it was so literal. That is literally what's happening here, which is why Elon Musk and Doge are demanding direct access to the Treasury funds and to the payment system. This has gone so far beyond the pale, y'all. So far beyond the pale. I mean, we're at the point now where, Jesus Christ, the Democrats aren't putting up nearly a good enough fight as they need to, and we're relying on the courts, which many of the courts are right-leaning. You're relying on them to do the right thing by the letter of the law and the spirit of the law and basically say, like, hey, dog, Doge is not even an official government agency. You have no right and no authority to do this. And then the other question is, hey, Trump, you going to let this guy continue to humiliate you? You going to let Elon Musk continue to humiliate you over and over? My guess is he was behind the freeze earlier in the week, and that all the backlash, who was getting the backlash? Trump was the one who was getting the backlash. Now, it's possible he's the one who's steering the ship, but that amount of chaos in that short of a time, when it comes to dollars and cents, this is what Elon Musk has a track record of doing. This is what he did with Twitter when he went in there. It's slash and burn, fire everything in sight, and then we'll worry about the specifics later. This is what he does. And they, the offer to do a government buyout of federal workers at the same time that, like, we need to hire 3,000 more, flight safety people, air traffic controllers. We need to hire 3,000 more, and they're offering to basically cut the number of those people that we have. I mean, this is crazy, right? But this is all tactics straight out of Elon Musk's playbook. And so now, again, he's behind effectively trying to loot the Treasury and illegally get the information to the payment system. And my question for Trump is, are you just going to sit there and take this? Because this guy is effectively, first of all, his approval rating is now 36%. Elon Musk is about as popular as Joe Biden now. And of course, Trump's approval rating is absolutely going to plummet given the actions he's been taking recently. So I'm waiting for that breakup, y'all. I'm waiting for Elon and Trump to break up. I hope it happens sooner rather than later. But again, my fear is Donald Trump has Joe Rogan syndrome when it comes to Elon, which is like, you know how Rogan is. Oh, my puny little peanut brain can't compare to such an amazing man as Elon Musk. Like, he falls for all the PR and all the marketing and all the bullshit and all the fluff. Elon wants everybody to think he's God's gift to this earth. Meanwhile, he's a fucking idiot loser who acts like a teenager on a 4chan message board, right? All the engineers do the hard work, and he jumps in front of the parade and takes the credit. But I think Trump might feel, oh yeah, this guy's a mega genius. Well, if you believe that and you keep letting him run wild, man, you're going to get what's coming to you. That's for damn sure. This is a nightmare for the country, man. If you have Elon Musk and Doge with access to internal government payment systems from the Treasury, I mean, you're literally going to let them loot the Treasury. It's not even going to be like a metaphorical point. It's going to be a literal point. So, man, yet again, another day, 5-alarm fire. Me and Crystal were just talking about this before. Like, I get off air after doing a show, and within 2 or 3 hours, it's like, oh, shit, I got 4 more things I need to talk about now. You got to fire up the iPhone and just start talking, because it's never fucking ending. I mean, homie was blaming DEI for this plane and helicopter crash the other day. Like, based on what, bitch? What are you talking about? The same guy who froze hiring for flight safety is now turning around and blaming diversity for the... I mean, it's pathetic. The other day, I don't even know if we got to cover this, because again, so many things are happening on a daily basis, but Trump lied and said, oh, we found $50 million that was supposed to go to condoms in Gaza, and that's why we froze, like, literally all of the federal funds, including Medicaid, which is healthcare for 72 million Americans. Like, it literally makes no sense. But he goes, oh, we found $50 million that was going for condoms to Gaza, and Hamas was using those condoms for bombs. I mean, that's almost stupid beyond words, right? It's almost like, how do I even comment on that? That's so stupid. But this is where we're at, bro. This is where we're at. Oh, it's so terrifying. So anyway, look, I hope you don't have to hear from me the rest of today, right? I'll have my eye on the news. I'll see what pops up. I hope we don't have to do any more, breaking news segments like this, because I'd like to chill. I'd like to chill on my birthday, have some cake, watch some TV, take it easy with the kids and the family and Crystal and everybody. I'd like to do that, but, they're making that fucking impossible. So maybe you'll see me later, maybe you won't. But I'll talk to you guys soon. Again, thank you for all the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. Love y'all. See you later.